Hey there, how are you? So this is part 2 to the beginning of our decluttering. 3 drawers and some shelves. If you go back to the first video, you'll get a better idea of what's going on. So, well, it needs to be done, guys. It's just like the energy is just so bad in my head, having so much stuff. So, as you know, I've had some illness and I had a couple of strokes about 1.5 years ago, but I'm coming good from all that. And aside from the fact that I repeat myself a bit and whatever, and I hope that is patient for that, things are doing well. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to go through this stuff, and like, there's just stuff that doesn't need to be here. Now, I can keep this. Like, these are inner soles for high heels. Now, I don't know when I'm going to wear high heels again, but I'm not going to get rid of them, because if I wear high heels again, I will definitely need inner soles, because I remember what they were like when I used to wear them all the time, and they were uncomfortable. So I can just imagine after a couple of years of not wearing them, how uncomfortable they'd be. So we're just going to work out a way that we can have stuff we're going to keep, stuff we're going to get rid of, and we're going to go from there. I am not a professional declutterer. I am a professional collector of clutter. All right? So I'm using you guys as a, I don't know, like, not cheer squad, but I'm using the fact that I'm doing the videos as a reason to have to get it done. And whatever works. I was only thinking before that if somebody else wanted to do it, and they're not on YouTube or whatever, that what they could do is, if they were a bit lonely, I mean, aside from if you've got a podcast you want to listen to, or a TV in your room, wherever you're doing it, and you can watch a movie while you're doing it. There's lots of ways to do enjoyable stuff while you're doing not so enjoyable stuff. All right, so another pair of leggings for my well-intended sports moments that haven't happened yet, but they will, and we're going to keep them. So we're just going to do piles there. And here's the other pair. So another idea I come up with while I was sitting down thinking before doing this video was that ring a friend on FaceTime or on WhatsApp, and make a pre-date where the two of you are going to sit in a particular space with your phones, and you're going to chit-chat while you're doing your decluttering. And you can have a laugh at what you've got and what you haven't got. Now, pyjamas. These are summer pyjamas, but at the moment it is a bit chilly in Sydney, but I like wearing basically shorts and a singlet to bed rather than being tangled up in stuff. I do have some long pyjamas, which you will see, but you know, like, what you don't need to keep. You know, you will come across stuff in here that, yes, that I might have done before, but now I don't do. So we got this bag for rubbish, and we got the box for what we're going to give away. The hard part's going to be sorting the sections, all right? But what I can see on top is all these bra inserts, which I'm just going to put all together. And as you can see here, when the bras were much teensier prior to my weight gain, all right, I was actually quite organised. So I'm just going to put those in there for the moment because there's already a pile there, and we'll see how we go. Now, I haven't got anything on TV or anything, but like I was saying, you could sit there with a friend and you could have a laugh while you're cleaning out your drawers, and you each be in your own places. I thought that was a really good idea. I'd love to be doing this with somebody chatting back and forward with me. So, I don't know. A lot of this is going to be fast forwarded so that you don't have to deal with me talking about what's going on. But this is a good time to even straighten bras out. So since I put the weight on and I try and be as, I haven't been working, so I try and be as comfortable as possible, I've started to wear heaps of sports bras. But, oh man, aren't they shit to wash unless you take out the insides. Now, we got some stuff that we're keeping, but look at this tiny little thing. Tiny, tiny, tiny. So that was me not very long ago. And as much as I'd love to keep them, and they're in very good condition, I'm not even going to do it up, we're wasting time. I'm going to put that, I think bras would be all right to pass on to somebody. So I'm going to put that into the giveaway or sell pile or whatever. We've got a pair of socks that are already matched, thank God. We were talking about socks last time. And we're just going to put them there. We got more socks that I think are the right, yep, they're matched together. Foot stuff. Underwear that's not mine. I think these were a friend of mine's, but I haven't seen her for like 2 years, and she hasn't contacted me, so, or I've tried to contact her, but, you know, like she's got her own shit going on. They're of no use to me and they're of no use to anybody else. So that's our first thing in our garbage pile. Got another sock here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the socks in front of me because there's going to be a lot of socks. Look, more socks. And, God. I'm not fitting into it anytime soon. So, as cute as they are. We're just going to throw them over there. Mum's little slippers. We're going to find one in there. Don't you worry. Anyway, underwear, like I said, haven't been worn. And that's the match to that bra. But we can't really do anything with those. So we're just going to, now this is where it gets hard because that is the match to that. All right. So you're going to come across this because I'm feeling it right now. I thought, oh my God, I haven't even worn those, and it matches that bra, and it would look so cute on somebody else. But the fact of the matter is, you can't. You know, who are you giving underwear away to? Even if you haven't worn it. Like, no. So I'm going to make a huge big girl decision, and I'm going to throw the brand new undies in the bin. Now I can hear you all applauding for me. That was a big deal. That little bra there though, we're going to put in there for later because we do a lot of craft projects, so we may be able to do some beads and stuff like that, whatever. That's not this video, is it? So here I am procrastinating while I've got to go through this, and my cat's decided to lie there. So let's just fold. What I'm going to do now is, I think I was going to turn it down, but no, I'll keep talking. All right, so this is a t-shirt, a top. It's a summer one. This will fit for summer, but I need to have somewhere else for that because summer is not close. This singlet I will keep, as I said, pyjamas. And I don't know about you, and maybe things will change in the future, but I grew up where we didn't have a lot of stuff. So I'm going to keep that in the pyjama stuff and use that. So when I go and buy pyjamas, I just buy the bottoms and I use old tops. And I'm sure I can find a couple of old tops in here. Maybe not. No, but I found stockings, which won't fit me now, but future videos we're going to lose some weight. So we will just keep them. So I used to wear like seam stockings and silk stockings and stuff like that. We're going to put them together with the shoe stuff. Now I know what you're thinking, we haven't got rid of much. Alright, socks. We have a pile for socks over there. This little top, for my birthday, I went to a place called Mullumbimby and Nimbin, and it was a shop that made everything out of hemp. Now look how tiny that is. It breaks my heart. I never even got to wear it. And then I was sick. But I paid like $80 for that. And 60 or $80. And I'm going to put that in for somebody else, or sell a little pile in case I go to the markets. Well, I am going to the markets. I'm making it a point. It's on my bucket list. Just to have the experience of actually doing it. Another bra. So we've got some bras there. We've got sports bras there. These, yes, these are great. I've been looking for these. I wondered where they were. Not too great around the house. Not too great for winter, but we are keeping those. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the volume off now, and I'm going to start going through things. But to entertain me, I think I'm going to put the TV on and watch some tarot or something like that. Got me rummaging through here because I know that this little pair of pants has another brand new bra that goes with it that I haven't even worn. But they're going. Anyway, I'm going to get Thomas to come and turn off the volume and everything, and I'm just going to quickly go through some of this stuff, and I'm going to put on something on the TV, and I don't want to get copyrighted on the TV, so while I get rid of some of it, okay, I was going to say pause or stop there, but I'm not. I'm already overwhelmed. I am already overwhelmed. So I just have to start throwing stuff before this becomes more of a hassle. All right. But I need to put some music or something on. So I'm going to do that. And then when the time comes to stop, I'll be talking again. All right. Pause. Okay guys, so I just had a bit of a meltdown going through this stuff, and I realised that every single piece I am going to talk about why and what. And if anybody knows about getting rid of stuff when it's hard, they will know that, yeah, I just started to melt down. So I needed some time to recalibrate, and that's okay. But what I'm going to do, and what I advise you to do as I'm talking to you, I thought it might be easy, but it's not, is I'm going to go through this stuff, and I'll speak to you at the end, okay? Okay guys, so out of that big pile of, like, you've seen how big it was, that pile of stuff, these are the piles I've got. I've got some underwear. I've decided to put all the socks into a bag, which I'm going to do tonight, sitting on the couch, matching them up, and the ones that haven't got matches are going in the bin, or the ones that, you get those stretchy socks and whatever, so we're going to get rid of them. I have kept inserts of bras, even though some of the bras I threw out, and those tiny ones will go, but I need to make sure that these all have the inserts in them, and so probably 2/3 of that will go tonight. And aside from that, I have very little left. I have a box that's got maybe half a dozen things in that if I go to the markets that I can add. I've got some sports stuff. This big pile here are all swimmers that I've bought since I put weight on. And I just, with my illness and that, just didn't get to go swimming. So I have kept them. And hopefully come summer here or spring, I will be able to use them. Now, there's just one more thing, all right? You'll see a video once all the drawers are packed with this stuff. More than one thing, a couple of things. All right, we have here, these are pajamas. And like I said, I buy the pajama bottoms and then I use old t-shirts. So I got rid of some of the ones that were really holey and stuff like that. And to be quite honest, actually while I'm sitting here, as much as I love this old nightie for next summer, it is old and I've had it for 20 years and I just love what's on it. But while I'm sitting here with you, I'm going to add it to the bin of rubbish. All right. So they're going to be put away. I've got a couple of t-shirts. I have a bunch of gloves that I have to decide what I'm keeping and what I'm not, but I'll put them there because it's winter and you always think, oh, you need them. I've got to look at these stockings. I doubt whether they're going to fit me because they are not going to even be comfortable if I wear them. I don't know. We'll see, but it's winter at the moment, so it's okay to put something aside and have a second look at it, all right? Because otherwise it's all too overwhelming. All this stuff here is for high heels, stockings, so forth. It's all in its packets. I'm going to keep them for the moment and I'll decide if I'm going to get rid of some of them. But, they're good for shoe liners, stuff like that. I've got some mum stuff. I found a t-shirt from my son when I'm so proud of him. So proud of him. I'll talk about him later. I don't get to see him. But when he was at school, he played gridiron and he went to the Samoa Bowl in Samoa for gridiron and he played over there. And this was the t-shirt he got. And it was too small for him right from the start. But, like if I lose a bit of weight, whatever, I didn't want to get rid of that. There's 3 tops here also that I absolutely love. Now I'm going to show you how tiny, all right? And I never want to be as skinny as I was because I was actually very sick when I was that skinny. But these are tiny, tiny little tops. But I love them and some of them have memories to them. So it's okay to keep something that has a memory. Just put it aside, all right? And it won't be so hard on you. But I've got all this is trash. So that's a whole drawer full that was trash. On the next video, I'm going to show you where all these things go. I'm actually going to do it. Otherwise, the video is just going to be too long. And then we'll talk about placement of stuff, I think. But thank you for being here, all right, while I was decluttering. And as you would have seen at the beginning, I got overwhelmed. I threw myself backwards and it was just all too much. But folded up and in a different space, I feel really good about how much I've done, and that's life, guys. All right, that's life. But as you can see, things are looking much better. Bras and some sports gear that is basically new, but we're going on to videos about losing some weight now that I'm feeling a bit better. So we're going to keep that. And anyway, it was all overwhelming. So I just want to say that we've done this, and I'm going to put them in drawers, and the next video you'll see how it all ended up. All right. Now go, if you didn't watch the first video, watch the first video and you'll see how much stuff was there and isn't now. So good luck. Bye.